Welcome to the Eric T. Conversation. I'm Eric T. Well, day two of the Trump presidency. I got my Trump shirt on. Go Knights. Yeah, I know. Some guy was selling it for like $10 at the game, and I bought one. Anyway, he's signing a bunch of executive orders. He released and pardoned the J6ers, like what, 1,600 of them, something like 15 or 1,600 of them, let them all out. And like it or not, they all need to go home. They all need to go home. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, Joe Biden pardoned his entire family. He pardoned people on the J6 committee. He pardoned Dr. Fauci it was a preemptive pardon. So in other words, they hadn't committed any crime. Just in case they find out they have crimes, they'll be forgiven. And they won't be able to be charged with any crimes. Why would you do that? Why would you preempt pardon people in your own family who the rumor is they're very corrupt? Dr. Fauci, who absolutely lied in front of Senator Rand Paul proved that he lied. The emails proved that Dr. Fauci lied in front of the Senate. That's a fact. Okay, that's on record. January 6th committee, they lied about a lot of things that day. They hid video footage, like 16,000 hours of video footage, they did not release. They didn't. They coerced some of the witnesses, coached them too. These are facts. These are facts that are in evidence from the congressional committee that investigated them. And they found all this out. Don't take my word for it, please. Do your own research, please. And don't come at me with stuff you saw in the news, okay? I want facts. Come at me with actual facts because I've done research. And this is the stuff, the conclusions that I make from the research that I've done. I've looked at both sides and I read some of the documents that they had during that committee hearing and the things that they found out. And I'm telling you, it's a bombshell, the things that they found out on this committee investigating them. They did a lot of bad things, a lot. So those are all facts. So they let these people go home because here's another fact for you. The FBI actually had bust in agents that were dressed in MAGA wear. That's a fact. It's already been proven. Okay, it's already been proven. And they were in the crowds. What were they doing there? Why were they there? To rile them up, get them all excited, do things they probably normally wouldn't do? That's what I believe. Prove me if I'm wrong. But there were tens of thousands of people there, and they probably did things that you normally would do. Have you ever made a mistake? Have you ever done something you're like, man, I can't believe I did that day? That's not me. That's totally out of character. I'm sure a lot of that was going on. No police officers were hurt. None of them died. That is an absolute lie. 100% lie. Did not happen. None. One guy had a heart attack, but he had a heart attack later on that day. Had nothing to do with the event. None. There was only one person that was killed there, and that was a woman who was a former Air Force veteran, Ashley Babbitt, who was crawling through the window trying to hold back the crowd, and she took one to the head or chest or something like that, and she died. Terrible. There's no reason for that. Nobody was armed. So they all need to go home, start their lives over again, because they were coerced to do things they probably wouldn't normally do. That's what I believe. So let these people go home, be with their families. They've been there almost 5 years, 4.5 years, 3 years. People are waiting to go to jail. People are waiting to go on trial. I mean, at one day for an hour of your life, you make a mistake. Okay? You didn't rob a bank. You didn't rob a convenience store. You didn't steal a car. You didn't kidnap anybody. Yeah, you went to the Capitol and you got a little excited. And that's the majority of the people were there. Old lady, grandmothers got indicted. Okay? So we just need to heal this country. And I believe that's a step in the right direction. You can disagree with me if you want, but I believe getting these people out, let them go home to their families so they can get their lives back, is a way of healing our country. Our country is the greatest one in the world. And I've been to other countries. There ain't nothing, no other place like the United States. There isn't. There may be some places that are a little prettier here and there for a vacation, but there's no place like the United States. None. And I believe our country needs to heal. And I believe that we need to give Trump some time to make these things happen for us. Everybody's president. I mean, I think everybody's going to benefit if we don't have payroll tax out of our checks anymore. I think everybody's going to benefit if we don't have Social Security taxes taken out of our checks when we're over 65 or 62 and we start getting Social Security. I believe we're all going to benefit when the IRS is not coming at us for our income tax anymore. We have an external revenue service that's going to be taxing these other countries that sell us goods. Yeah, you're going to argue with me and say, well, all the prices are going to go up. You know what? The average person is about 24% out of their paycheck every single day. You pay a 7% tax when you go buy goods at a store. All right, that's what, 30% tax right there. You get taxed when you go to the gas station. How would you like to pay maybe a couple of bucks more on stuff, but yet have all the money that you make every week? Wouldn't it be nice? I wouldn't mind paying a little bit more for some goods if I get every dollar that I make in my check. So argue with me about that if you want. Sure, I'll pay 10% more in goods, but I get 30% more on my paycheck. I'll take that 7 days a week or twice on Sunday. So give him a chance to try to make this country a little bit better. He's the president for everybody. So, everybody's going to be very critical. That's how we are with everybody that's in power. And he's going to be signing executive orders and trying to get things moving very rapidly. Now, executive orders aren't really laws. He's overturned a lot of things that the Biden administration did. That's why he's signing so many of them, to get it done quickly. He ended the birthright citizenship. You can argue with that all you want. My family's immigrants. I agree with that one. The 14th Amendment was designed for slavery. So all those people who were slaves during that time when the 13th Amendment came out and made slavery illegal, those people that were slaves were granted citizenship because they were here in the United States. That's what it's for. It wasn't for illegal immigrants to come to this country, have kids, and let them become citizens. That's not what it was for. Most legal scholars will agree that's what the 14th Amendment was for, not for, people coming here legally, having kids, and now you got what they all call the old anchor baby. It's not what it was for. So it's going to be challenged in the Supreme Court, I'm sure, and I bet you right now it's going to be upheld because no one's challenged that law yet. And now it needs to be challenged because we're getting an influx of people into this country and we're getting overrun. And our resources are going thin over it. Everybody wants to help everybody. I certainly like to help people, but we can't help people with the expense of United States citizens. We need to take care of us first. Just like your household, your children, your wife, your husband, whoever comes first, right? That's in your household. United States should take care of our own first. We've got homeless veterans out there that we should be taking care of. Every veteran should be taken care of. No veteran should be homeless. We have people who are homeless or displaced people that are, need help. We need to take care of those as well. People that need medical help, that can't afford, the medication or health insurance. We need to help those people. People in our country. We come first. Everybody else, get a back seat until we're all taken care of. And then when we're taken care of, yeah, we can help you out too. But we're first. So we got to let these things start running its course. And hopefully Trump can, move things along quickly and give him some time. Give him 6 months. If he's not doing anything a year from now and, all these things are still up in the air and nothing's getting done, I'll be screaming on top of the mountaintop, just like everybody else, that he was terrible. But I got to give him a shot. Because one thing he said to RFK Jr. when RFK Jr. and him were talking about him, joining the team and coming on over, RFK Jr. said that Trump told him the biggest thing he was worried about is his legacy. He wants to leave a better legacy than what he left the first time around. And that's important. There's nothing wrong with having an ego if you have an ego for the right things. And destroying a country is not good for the Trump name. Making a great country that everybody in America, every single person, whether you're on the left or the right, is thriving, that's a good legacy for him. And I really believe he feels that way. That he wants to leave a legacy for his children, his grandchildren, and for Americans can look at the Trump name and be like, you know what? That guy did a hell of a job for those 4 years he was here. But you got to give him a shot. Got to give him a shot. Because you never know. He's going to make it, if he makes it great for everybody, right? Shit, I like a little extra money in my pocket. I like our military to be strong again. I'd love it. I think we're on pace this time. The country is really excited. The majority of the country is very excited about this one. And I'm right there with them. So join along. You know, look outside. Go to the store once in a while. Look around at Walmart or Home Depot. We're not a horrible country. I say hi to everybody. Say hi to me. I say hi to you. I open doors for people. Wouldn't matter who you are. I don't care. I'm just polite. And you should too. Because that's America. So hopefully things get back on track very quickly. Because this time we actually have somebody who's running the country and is awake. Because the last 4 years, it's pretty suspect who was actually running the country. Because if you watch the excerpt from Speaker Mike Johnson talking about when he met Biden to talk about some national security issues that were pretty big deal like a year ago, he couldn't get a chance to see him. Then finally he got a chance to see Joe Biden, and he asked him about an executive order he had signed, and he had no idea what it was about. And then he asked him again, and then when he asked him, he finally says, "Oh, I thought this is what we were doing." He goes, "No, sir, you stopped this program, and it's destroying people in my state." He had no idea, and at that moment he realized he's not running the show. People behind the scenes are doing it. So that's what you've had for the past 4 years. Somebody else is running the show. Does that make you feel good? It doesn't make me feel good at all. So be as it may, Donald Trump is definitely going to be running the show. He's going to be making decisions. He's going to know the things that he's signing. He's going to be knowing the laws that he's going to be pushing through. So pay attention. Keep your eyes open. And like I said, if he doesn't do a good job, I'll be screaming just like the rest of you. Well, not the rest of you. Some of you are. Because a lot of us are on board for this ride and to see how good it can get. Anyway, that's it for today. Join me next time for a little chit chat, some observation, and some good old fashioned conversation. Thanks.